Hey scientists, grab those lab coats and goggles as today we explore how environmental changes can affect an organism's survival rate. Let's get it started with our essential questions. Now, let's talk about our essential question. Remember, essential questions in science and in different lessons can help us think about what we already know about a topic, and it helps us connect to new ideas that we're going to learn today to help us produce a new thought about the topic. Our essential questions will be focused on our different science topics. So look for keywords. In those keywords, the minute you see them and recognize them, I want you to think, what do I already know about this topic? Once you have that in your mind, you want to look at the question again to see what we're trying to answer today or what are we trying to answer about that topic. It's important to remember that an essential question is like a goal as well. By the end of our science lesson, you should confidently be able to answer the essential question. Let's go over our essential question for today. Let's look at our essential questions for today. Listen to me first. What are the physical characteristics of an environment? Read and say this one with me. What are the physical characteristics of an environment? Let's look at the second one. This one's a little bit longer, so listen and follow along as I read it. How do the physical characteristics of an environment support populations and communities of plants and animals in an ecosystem? Take a deep breath with me, and let's read that one together. Ready? Here we go. How do the physical characteristics of an environment support populations and communities of plants and animals in an ecosystem? And our last one. How do environmental changes affect an organism within an ecosystem? Read that one with me. How do environmental changes affect an organism within an ecosystem? Nicely done, scientists. Let's get into our activity.
All right, scientists, today we are going to do two separate activities, and it may take more than a day to complete these activities, and that's okay. For part one, we're going to become an ecologist. Now, an ecologist is somebody that studies who studies the relationship between living things and their habitats, so the places that those living things live in. In your first activity, you will be following the directions given to you by your teacher to becoming an ecologist, and you'll be completing a T-chart. After you complete your T-chart example and you complete the explore parts in your student journal, you're going to complete the environmental changes game. Now, this game has a little bit of an explanation to go with it, so I will explain that to you now. To begin your environmental changes game, what you're going to do is you are going to complete a pictograph using the key on your recording sheet. The pictograph will show you an event and the loss or addition after the loss or addition of different armadillos. You're going to enter groups of 4 or 5 different teammates. To begin the game, you'll separate the different cards you're given into events and just armadillos. You'll lay your 10 armadillo cards in the middle of each of your groups, kind of like seen in the picture here. You'll place the event cards face down in a draw pile. That way nobody can see the words. And you'll set the remaining armadillo cards in a pile off to the side. Once you have the game cards all set up, to start off the game, you will roll a dice to determine who goes first in the group. Whoever rolls the highest number is who will go first in the game. Each player will draw one event card on his or her turn. So you start with the person who rolled the highest number on the dice, and then you go around in a circle. That person will read the event out loud, and you'll follow the instructions. So, for example, the one we have on our screen says, the humans build a highway through an armadillo's habitat. 2 armadillos move to a new location. For this card, we'll then need to go to our sheet of paper to record the information we're seeing. From the information that I was given in my starting armadillo pile. Our starting population was 10. That's how many blank armadillo cards each of our groups got. The event one that we pulled was that the armadillo, we lost two of them, or they moved different places because their habitat was being taken over by a highway. So I had to draw 2 zeros or 2 circles to represent 2 armadillos. Each circle represents 1 armadillo, as you can see with the key in the top. Then I want to represent if those 2 armadillos, if it was an increase in armadillos or a decrease in armadillos. And since those armadillos moved, it's going to be a decrease in armadillos. I'm going to keep going around in a circle, and the next person will pick the second event. We'll record the same information for the armadillo and then continue on deciding whether it was an increase in armadillos or a decrease. Discuss with your group members to see what happens to your armadillos after all 10 events are pulled. Good luck, scientists, and I'll see you guys soon.